Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTbase.com. Today we're going to be looking at the 29th Commitments of Traders Report of 2020. And as we always do, we shall start out by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. And as you can see, we've got the wheat on top of our list with a 36% change in commercials positions. You can see a 40% change in large speculators and 60 in small speculators. So huge changes this week. Amongst the largest changes in the past 1 year. And of course, it is bearish, suggesting some weakness coming the next couple of days. If we move on and look at a wider time frame, like the 5-year chart that I'm showing to you, you may see that the extreme is actually more or less in between the two, the most bearish, the example I'm showing to you from 2017, and the most bullish COT extreme. So it's really the COT change signal that one can act upon from this recent report. That is bearish, no question, one of the largest changes amongst all markets, suggesting some weakness coming in the wheat market. The next that we shall look at will be the crude oil, the Brent to be specific. Again, reminder, always look at correlating markets. Of course, the WTI crude oil has also COT reports, and I always advise to check out all of them. In this case, we are talking about a 22% change in commercials position, 21 in large speculators, and it is a bearish change signal. A bit larger than average, but nothing too spectacular or unusual. So we'll might as well just open the 5-year chart and see how extreme we have become. And you can see from these bullish extreme levels from December of 2019, we have been gradually moving away. And in relative terms, we are getting closer to bearish levels. This, of course, can continue on for a few more weeks before we reach that extreme where the price will react. Nevertheless, it's a stress level that we should be taking care of. Okay, another energy market, natural gas, for this review. Here we have a 19% change in commercials positions. You can see that change size definitely larger than average. It is interesting to see commercials and large speculators below the zero line, meaning both of them are net short currently, and only small speculators are taking the long side of the market. So they're net long. That's, I would say, always, you can consider that a bearish signal in some markets, of course. If we move on to the 5-year chart, then you can see that we are actually at a bearish COT extreme. It could grow, you may see, from December of 2019. By the way, a wonderful signal just at that top that we have seen greater bearish extremes in the past. Actually, this example from May of 2017 was even greater. So that says basically we should be cautious. This could grow. Nevertheless, the stress levels are there. And although we've seen a decline in the market, judging by the COT report, we may actually see further decrease in price. Okay, let's move on to large speculator COT extreme. Okay, here we go. Australian dollar 119 report extreme in large speculators. You can see that on the chart over there. Again, large, no question about that. We have not seen traders at these levels for 2 years, but you may see much greater extremes, like the one I'm showing to you right now from September of 2017, when commercials were at roughly 90,000 contracts net short, large speculators roughly 75,000 contracts net long. So that just means this can grow. Nevertheless, it's a stress level already in the market, suggesting in the medium to long term a weakness coming in the Australian dollar. Copper is our next market, 106 report extreme over there. In large speculators, the same exact extreme can be found in commercials as well. And that is, again, bearish extreme. Basically, I could just repeat myself. Picture is quite similar, actually, to the Australian dollar. So it's a bearish signal suggesting weakness coming in the medium or long term. And last but not least, let's have a look at the orange juice market, where we have a 96 report extreme in large speculators. And again, it seems like pretty much very, very similar COT signals coming, bearish extremes that can actually grow to even greater levels. You may see on the charts, even in the case of orange juice, it's showing you that it could grow. Nevertheless, we have witnessed some strengthening in the market, and maybe this extreme has risen to a level where traders are just going to switch direction and we will see a bit of a decline. Now, of course, don't forget that these reviews are short, brief. They just show you a few markets, but you can always check out COT Base and look at all sorts of data sets, other report types, new data types, other markets as well. You can, of course, dig deeper and analyze changes. The COT Extreme, we have this wonderful long-term trend indicator. Volume and open interest analysis is also available. And if you have not yet seen, I just wanted to remind you that we are also analyzing markets specifically. So in this case, the Australian dollar, and you can see all the data sets that you can actually look at to analyze more deeply. If you want, you can actually open and chart the data itself, and it's even more clear that way. So a lot of stuff to do here at COT Base. I hope you enjoyed this review. I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much for being with me. Have a wonderful weekend and see you next week.